Hi guys, Ariel with Ariel Paints. Today I'm going to show you how to do this fun snake design. It's just realistic enough that the kids get excited about it, but it's not too scary for little kids, and you'll always get some shrieks from the parents in line that are afraid of snakes, so I find it to be very effective, so I hope you guys like it. I use Tag Snake, very appropriate, right, for this video. I love this one stroke. I need to either dome it or replace it because it is well loved and almost out. And then I used this BAM reptile stencil for some of the detail, and it is stencil number 1005. So those are some of the materials I used. I also did this little snake bite on my hand, which I will show you guys how to do if I have extra time at an event. A lot of times I will do this on a kid on the neck or on their hand so that they have a snake bite. But you guys have been asking me for more boy designs, so I am going to make an effort to film more of them for you. I do a lot of boy designs at events, but I guess I don't film that many. I tend to be a little girly. So if there's anything specific you guys would like to see and I have a design for it, please let me know in the comments. I will happily try to film them for you, but I'm also going to just make more of an effort to come up with more boy designs for you guys and to film the ones that I do at every event, because I think that would probably be more helpful. So I will work on that, but please let me know if you have any questions. Comment below, message me. I love hearing from all you guys on Facebook. It's so sweet, and a lot of you are messaging me and talking to me and interacting with me, and I love it. So thank you for doing that. So please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. You'll see designs that I do throughout the week besides just things that I do for my videos. And if you have any questions, let me know. But for now, stick around and I will show you how to do this really simple snake for your next event. First thing we're going to do is make sure the brush is loaded really well. So you want not only paint on the toe of the brush, but all the way up to the belly of the brush and up to the ferrule. A well-loaded brush will paint the entire snake for you without having to reload. For placement of the snake, don't start it on the side. You want the kid to be able to see it when they're looking straight on. So start it a little bit closer to the mouth or the nose. And that way, when they're looking straight at themselves, they can actually see the snake. This is a mistake that I made early on, so now I'm really careful about placement. For the head, you can see I'm just using my one stroke. I'm making a bit of an almond shape that is a little larger on the back side of it for the snake's head, and then filling in with the heel of the brush. This is just a pivoting motion that's really easy over time, so you'll get the hang of it quickly if you practice. And now I'm just going to pull that one stroke right up into my hairline, wiggling it a little bit, putting more pressure on and lifting up at certain points because I don't want it to be too perfect. And now I'm going right back into my hairline on my forehead, and I'm just pulling it over, wiggling it, pressing down a little harder at some points, and then skating back up on the tip and back into my hairline. On kids, I'll pull it even further into their hairline, but I just really don't want to wash it out of my hair later, so I'm not doing that on myself. Okay, so now we have the tail of the snake coming on the other side. I'm just pulling it down and then skating on the tip of my brush to create the tail of the snake. So now you can see as you're looking straight on, you can see the body, the head, and the tail of the snake. So that's what you want. You don't want it to be too far on the side so little kids can't even see it. They don't like that very much. Now you can also do all of this with one well-loaded brush. So load your brush well the first time. Even after doing that entire snake, I still have plenty of paint in my brush. That's how you know you're loading your brush correctly. So now I'm just going to do the eyes with white. It's just some teardrops, keep them kind of on the outside of the head. I'm also going to give my snake some fangs. And while I have white on my brush, I'm going to go ahead and do some highlights so that it looks kind of slick. You'll see I do two different techniques here. I will start in the middle and then go out to create a thinner line, and then I'll start at the very tip of my brush and then I'll push down for the highlight. So do whatever you're more comfortable with. You have a heavy hand, starting in the middle of your highlight can be easier. Now I'm going to use mainly the center part of this BAM stencil because I want that smaller detail, and I'm going to use a dauber to do this, and I'm going to show you why. If I use a regular large sponge, then I am almost always going to go outside of that snake body, head, everything I'm trying to do. But if I use the dauber, I can be much, much more precise. I'm less likely to make mistakes. So I've loaded it well with some neon yellow. You'll see too that I also use the edge of the dauber a lot because then I can be even more precise as to where I'm laying down that stencil. And I like using the center because I just think it gives a really, really ornate detail. And every single time I add this to a snake or a monster or whatever I'm using it, I always get parents going, "Oh my gosh, wow." If you add it to the head, it makes the head look much better and a little less cartoony and cheesy. So I recommend not skipping this step. So do that to your entire snake and then take a little bit of black. You can give the center of the eyes kind of that, creepy snake eye. It's super simple. It's really just an elongated dot. And then I'm just going to roughly outline the eyes so they look a little creepy. And then I'm going to pull the line directly from the eye out to outline the head. I'm doing all of this just on the tip of the brush. As I outline the body, I do push down in some spots, but not too heavy. I'm going to outline the top of the body and my tail as well. You can see, again, I'm pushing a little harder in some spots, but mainly staying on the tip of my brush. Wherever it looks like it would sink in or a shadow would be, that's where I try to push in just a little bit harder than I normally would. If you're doing a really, really busy event, you can also skip outlining the snake. It's not 100% necessary. It definitely adds a lot of dimension and it's going to make your design look even better. But it's a step you could skip if you had to, and that one stroke and your stencil is going to do a lot of the work for you, and it's still going to be impressive. Now, if you want to add a shadow, I would usually do it at this point when I have black on my brush. I just add a lot of water to it. I usually just do it on the back of my hand, and I start to water down the paint until I get a very, very inky paint that starts to pull up. That's when I know my consistency is just right to do some shadow. I usually go really close to the body and I just paint a little bit of that inky black on, and then I usually just dab it off with my finger and it creates a nice shadow. So you can do that all the way around. You can also do this step instead of outlining. Not necessary to do both, especially at a festival. If you're at a private party or event, great, do both. Add as much detail as possible, but if it's a pay-per-face event and people are waiting and time is money, then be selective about what details you add. Most of the time, I'll be talking to the kid the whole time, find out if they want a scary snake. That's when I add fangs or I do the tongue. If they want it really scary, I will add blood. So after I do the tongue, I just put some paint on my finger and then I'll dab it around their face and around the snake and give them kind of the effect of having blood, which makes them really happy. If I have time and if I'm talking to them, a lot of times I'll say, "Oh, you have to have a snake bite because the snake bit you." I'll take a little bit of that red, make two dots, just dab it out with your finger so that it looks irritated, like something has been bitten. Throw a couple black dots in the center, highlight them with white, and they have a snake bite. I'll do that on the neck, or if I do a snake on the arm, which I paint a lot of snakes on kids' arms, then I'll do the snake bite right in front of it. It's a super quick thing to add, and kids really like it. Okay, so now I am so bothered by the fact that I stopped that snake's tail at the same height as the head. Aesthetically, just not a good design element at all to have 2 points ending in the same plane. So I had to extend it down around my mouth, which I think looks much better. So hopefully you guys do too. So here it is, my simple snake design, really good for festivals, parties, and probably one of my more popular boy designs and requests, and then my snake bite to go along with it. I hope you guys like this. Please like and subscribe as always. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and let me know if you have any questions below. Thanks for watching.